Thank you for viewing this demonstration of the XTR Reporter Pro software from Intelligent Recording. Reporter Pro offers the supervisor the ability to quickly and easily search for and play back calls stored anywhere on your PC, local, or wide area network. This video is not meant as a detailed training video, but instead an overview of the main features and functions of the software. After viewing this video, please view the reports, scoring, and archiving video to review these areas of the program. The Reporter Pro application is divided into four areas. The main menu bar is used to access controls of various parts of the application as well as adjust the look and feel of the main user interface. The Access panel consists of My Shortcuts, My Calls for Review, My Explorer, as well as My Call Score panel. We will review these in detail later. The Recordings List section is the main area of the application. This is where you will interact with recorded calls for tasks like viewing, searching, editing, exporting, and playback. Finally, the Player panel provides audio control over selected calls and allows for easy access to many features such as one-touch email and simple editing of recordings. The proper organization of your calls into groups is critical to ensure quick and easy access to the desired calls. The Shortcut panel can be organized in a way that best fits your company structure. In this case, we have divided them into four group folders: Sales, Service, My Calls, and a folder for archive calls. Under the Groups folders are the shortcuts to the individuals within each group. These are linked to the actual folder on the network or PC where the calls are stored, but can be named anything you choose. If I wanted to listen to some of Steve's calls, I would right-click on the shortcut to Steve, then select Create a Recordings List. From there, you can further filter the search. I can search within a predefined date range or select a custom date range for the calls I'm interested in. In this case, I will select only yesterday and today and then select Compile. You can see this has now put Steve's calls from yesterday and today into a list view and created a new tab for the compilation of calls. This is what is referred to as a recordings list. In the same fashion, I can compile calls for the entire group by using the group folder. For example, if I right-click on the sales group folder and compile the calls, you will see it pulls up all the calls for my entire sales team and places these calls into a new recordings list. The recording lists appear in the main section of the application. The toolbar above the recording list allow for simple one-touch actions over the selected recordings. To demonstrate these, I'll step through what is an everyday scenario for many of our clients. In this scenario, I want to find a call that Steve made or received from a specific telephone number. I'm looking for a call to or from the number 949-313-7836. This was made within the last 30 days by Steve. The first step is to compile the list of calls from the shortcut to Steve's calls that occurred within the last 30 days. Then select the search option, enter the specific information, which in this case is 949-313-7836. The results then appear in a new call list window. As you can see, there are two calls to or from this number. From there, I can simply and easily export the recording to either an XTR file, which is our proprietary file format that yields 168 hours of recording per gigabyte of disk space, or to WAV file that can be played back using most any media player. The WAV file format that we use is also a highly compressed format that yields the same storage efficiency of 168 hours per gigabyte of disk space. These other options offer simple one-touch email of the recording, again as either an XTR or a WAV file. By selecting Email as WAV, you can see it converts the recording to a WAV file and then attaches it to an outbound email message, all in one simple step. The next option over is for deleting calls. Simply highlight the call or calls you want to delete and press the button. Any calls deleted in error would be recoverable from your recycle bin if needed. The The next icon is for adding notes. These can be selected from the predefined drop-down list, or if you choose, you can type anything into this area. Keep in mind, anything you enter here can then be used to find that particular call later. Next over are buttons used to mark or remove the important status to a call. Marking a call as important not only highlights the call in a list, but it also removes it from any auto-delete routine that might be set in your recorder software. Next over are the buttons that are related to reporting, scoring, and call archiving. These are covered in detail in another video demonstration. If you are interested in these more advanced features, please view the video titled Reporter Pro, Reporting, Scoring, and Call Archiving for a detailed overview of these. Calls are dropped into the player panel when they are selected for playback. Many of the same features we have just reviewed can be accessed within this area of the program. One feature unique to the player panel is bookmarking. Bookmarking provides the ability to highlight just a portion of a recording for reference later. Often there may be only a few minutes of a much longer call that is of interest for playback or emailing. For example, you might have a 20-minute call and perhaps only 2 minutes of the call is where a transaction took place. If you wanted to email this 2 minutes of the call as confirmation, you would first bookmark the portion of the call that you want to send, then select Email Bookmark as Wave. This then only attaches the bookmark portion of the call to the email message while leaving the rest of the recording intact. Many users want to use the recorded calls for training and quality assurance purposes. The Access panel offers a few quick and simple ways to manage these calls when needed. The first we'll review is the My Calls for Review panel. The folders in this panel can be named anything you choose. You can have a folder for each person you're recording, or perhaps folders that categorize the calls into different types of calls. In this example, I have both. After listening to a call, you may want to use that call later for training purposes or to review it with your employee. To place a call into a folder, you simply drag and drop it into the folder. This doesn't change where the call is stored, it simply places a shortcut to that recording into the folder. Once the call has been dealt with, you can delete it from this list. Keep in mind, this doesn't delete the recording, it just deletes the shortcut you created from the list. The My Explorer panel simplifies copying of calls as well as compiling lists from calls that may be stored elsewhere on your PC or network. For copying calls, it provides the ability to simply drag and drop one or multiple calls into a folder on your PC or network. Unlike the My Calls for Review folder, in this case it is not creating a shortcut to the recording, but instead creating a copy of the recorded calls. The other purpose of the My Explorer panel is to access calls that are stored elsewhere on your PC or network. For example, you may have calls that are archived in a folder or the network by year and by month, and you may not want to continually add shortcuts for these changing folder destinations. In this case, you can simply select the folder through the Explorer window, right-click on it, and compile calls from the desired folder. This concludes a demonstration of the basic features and functions of the Reporter Pro software. Hopefully you were able to see from this overview that the XTR Reporter Pro software from Intelligent Recording is a very simple to use, intuitive program that will assist you in quickly and easily finding those important calls. You simply click on the user or group you're interested in, compile a call list, and then take whatever actions are needed from there. Where you think you should be able to drag and drop a call, you can. If you right-click on various parts of the application, options that are applicable to that part of the application are displayed. If needed, all documentation is also located under the Help menu if you need more detailed description of any part of the program.